Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Menendez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Clayton, congratulations on your nomination. Since you and I met in February, there's certainly been quite a bit of activity at the SEC. Of particular concern to me is Acting Chair Pivowar's efforts to scale back the authority of the Commission's enforcement division. He unilaterally reopened the comment period on a congressionally mandated rulemaking disclosure of CEO to worker pay ratio. So I want to focus first on the enforcement, and then I'll turn to the other matter. In 2009, former SEC Chair Shapiro gave enforcement staff subpoena power. Before this, only the Commission had the power. This empowered senior enforcement attorneys to quickly escalate informal inquiries to formal investigations, ultimately strengthening the Commission's ability to investigate corporate misconduct. When we met and discussed enforcement issues, you said that bad actors have cost this country billions, and I couldn't agree more with you. In my view, the SEC functions best with a strong enforcement division that stays ahead of the markets. Unfortunately, Acting Chair Pivowar has taken steps to curb the enforcement division's authority by revoking this subpoena authority from 20 enforcement officials and limiting it only to the enforcement division director. That's a major reversal from post-crisis policy designed to assist the Commission in initiating investigations and going after bad actors that ravaged investors and our economy at large. So I just want to get some quick answers to these questions. In your opinion, do you think that the SEC's enforcement staff has abused its authority since the delegation of subpoena authority in 2009?
Senator, I have no idea whether they have abused their subpoena authority.
Well, you're a practitioner before them. Do you have a sense that they have abused their authority for the last 8 years?
Senator, in my experience, which as far as, on the defense side is very limited, so take it with that, I have not seen an abuse of subpoena authority by the SEC.
Were you consulted at all on these policy changes as the potential new chair?
No, I was not.
Do you agree with this policy change?
I don't know. I will have to discuss this with both commissioners and with the enforcement
Well, let me
staff
ask you this. Does taking away subpoena power from senior enforcement attorneys better protect investors and deter misconduct?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Really?
No, I don't. Because
in the abstract, forgetting about just the proposition that taking away subpoena powers from those line entities that are engaged in investigating misconduct and limiting it to only one person and then having to go through a whole process, it seems to me that we're going to largely deter and delay investigations.
I think those are good questions.
Well, the question, I'm looking for good answers.
Yeah, I know.
My good questions don't mean that much if I don't get good answers. I would hope to hear from you that what was happening before in terms of spreading that authority was the better process of making sure that we build on the successes of empowerment at the SEC's enforcement staff. At the end of the day, we need an SEC and a chair who's going to be a cop at the beat. Because what we had at one time is they were asleep at the switch, and that gave us the excesses that all Americans had to pay for. Let me ask you, I have another concern about Acting Chair Pivowar's unilateral decision to open a new public comment period on the rule requiring public companies to disclose the ratio of their total CEA compensation to median worker pay, a rule adopted by the Commission nearly 18 months ago, a year and a half ago. In addition to obstructing the implementation of a congressionally mandated rule, one that I authored in Dodd-Frank, and diverting staff resources and time seemingly only to justify the personal ideological views of one person, this action actively ignores the tens of thousands of comments from investors and investment managers expressing the view that this information is material and important to shareholders' evaluation of executive compensation. In fact, yesterday, a coalition of 100 investors and investor organizations representing $3 trillion in assets under management wrote to the acting chair expressing support for the CEO to worker pay ratio rule and urge the SEC to maintain the current effective date for disclosure. So my question is, do you agree with the acting chair's unilateral decision to open a new public comment period on the rule, and if so, why?
Senator, Acting Chair POR is the acting chair. That's a decision for him to make.
Yeah, but you're going to be, if confirmed, the new chair. I want to know, do you think, would you do that? Would you have done that?
I do not know enough about the.
Well, that's not acceptable. What do you mean you don't know? You don't know about CEO pay worker raises? This is a major issue that has been debated out there for some time.
It has been debated.
And it's a congressionally mandated provision.
It's a
one that has for 18 months already been ruled. So an arbitrarily and capricious decision of the chair, you will be the next chair if confirmed, to ultimately undo that seems to me to tell me you don't know. You don't know is not acceptable.
That's not what I'm saying, Senator. I'm saying that I don't know what motivated Chairman POR.
I'm asking you what you would do. Would you have done that? If you were the chair sitting there right now, would you have done that?
I can't answer that question because I don't have the benefit of the interaction with the staff that Chairman POR had and the history with the rule that he had.
The history of the rule has been, it's already been done for 18 months. I'm sorry, Mr. Clayton, but those answers aren't acceptable. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Senator Tillis.